Cool. All right. Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm very glad you could join us this morning. Today, we're going to be covering different reporting strategies for NAV. As many of you know by now, my name is Adam, and I'm part of the account management team here at Metaphorix. This morning, I'm joined by consultant James Sharp, who's now a seasoned veteran of our NAV Know How webinars. James is going to be taking you through the bulk of today's session. I'll pass over to him in just a second to go through today's agenda. So if you've been on any of our webinars before, you know how we do things. If not, to save time, we ask that you direct any questions to me once the webinar is over. I'll put my contact details up on the screen at the end of this presentation, so please feel free to call me or drop me an email. As usual, we're recording today's session and we'll upload to our website very soon. So all in all, we're looking for today's session to last around 30 minutes. So if you're all ready, James, I'll hand over to you and we'll get going.
Thank you, Adam. And hi, everyone. I'm James. I'm one of the consultants. And as Adam said, I'll be going through different reporting strategies. So essentially, there's lots of ways you can report from NAV. And those include standard NAV reporting, Jet reports, and Power BI. So we do have other webinars or another webinar on Jet reports, and we have another webinar on Power BI, which is on YouTube and it's on our website. And if you want more technical detail, you want to know about how you create reports from scratch, then I'd have a look at those, because this is going to be more of a comparison to say what are the benefits of standard NAV reporting, what are the benefits of Jet reporting, and what are the benefits of Power BI. And hopefully this information will help you be able to determine which strategy is best for you. So standard NAV reporting is free, out of the box, it comes with NAV, and it's simple. Jet report is for more sophisticated reporting, and it pulls data from NAV directly into Excel. And then we've got Power BI, which is a more graphical business intelligence tool, and it's for advanced reporting. So that's a quick overview, and now we're going to go into a bit more detail. So standard NAV reporting comes with lots and lots of reports that come with NAV as it is. So these include the trial balance by period, the customer item sales, customer sales lists, customer top 10, account schedules, and many, many more. But I'm going to quickly show you these to show you the kind of reports that you can get out of NAV as it is out the box and how they work. So firstly, I'll show you the trial balance by period, and to access that, we go to the chart of accounts. In the chart of accounts, we have a report tab, and here's the trial balance by period. When we click this button, we see this. What you're essentially doing with standard NAV reporting is you're creating a filtered view. And this pop-up that appears now appears when you open any standard NAV report, and this is how you create that filtered view. What is it exactly you're filtering on, and how do you want it to be filtered? So you can pick a start date. So the start date's in as the start of the year. We can add a rounding factor and an indentation if we want to, but we're not going to do that. And then here we can see the filtering. So we could filter on a specific GL account number or specific GL account type, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to press preview. We're not going to print preview. We're just going to press preview. And you'll notice when we click preview, it's going to open another Navision window. So you can see here in the window behind, we've got the Navision icon because this is a Navision window. And again, here, we're still inside Navision. The preview is inside Navision. And we've got our accounts along the left and our periods along the top. And we've got all our financial data in the middle. And that's it, dead simple, out the box. It just works, easy to use. I also wanted to show you the customer item sales, and to access that, we go to the customers. There's lots of reports available on the customers, and when we click the report tab, you'll see that there's loads available. So the one that I wanted to show is the customer item sales, which is here. And again, you'll see that when we click that button, we get another one of these windows. And in this window, we can filter on the information if we want to. So we can filter on the customer name, and we can filter on the customer number. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to preview it as it is. But instead of clicking preview this time, we're going to click print and PDF. It's up to you how you want to open it. To print a PDF, you need to have Adobe PDF Reader installed. But this is just how I prefer to open it. It's just preference, but I just think it looks a bit tidier when you open it with the PDF reader. And you can see that we've got our date and timestamp, our page number, the user we signed in as, headings, and then you can see that we've got the customer, sales, totals. And then again, customer, sales, totals. And that carries on then for all of the customers because we haven't put any filtering on. We've just said to run this report. We just want to look at the customer item sales. We haven't said it's for a specific customer, specific item. We've just said we want to look at everything. So I'm going to run it again now and show you how this filtering works and filter on a specific customer. So in this window here where we can add our filter criteria, I'm going to say where the number, so customer number, is our second customer here, Progressive Home Furnishing, so 10115544. And again, I could preview it, but I'm going to print preview. I just think it looks a bit tidier. And we'll see now that when we run this report, it's the same report being run, but it's just for one specific customer. So we can only see the item sales for that customer there. I also wanted to show you the customer sales list. So that is here. And this shows the amount of sales for a customer. So if I run this for today's date, we'll see all the sales for today. And this is just a demo company. It's not actually being used. It's not live. So if we run it for today, we can see that there's no sales. So all of these customers have a value of 0 because no transactions have been posted for today. If I run it again, but remove the date filter, it's just going to run it. It's just going to show us all the customer sales that they've ever been because we're not filtering on a customer, we're not filtering on a day. We just want to see everything. And you can see now that we're seeing values and high values as well because this is all the sales that there's ever been on the company. You can see these along the right here. So that's the total of the sales. And then also wanted to quickly show you the customer top 10 list. So when we click the customer top 10 list, the quantity that we want to see defaults to 10, and we can actually get a chart type with this type of report. So it's set to bar chart at the moment. And if we print that to PDF, again, we could preview it, but I just prefer to do it this way. And if we open that, you can save it as well, but we'll just open it. And you can see here that they're our top 10 customers, and we get a nice little bar chart here. When we click the button and we got this preview window, even though it defaulted to 10, we can actually change that to 5. So we can override that. We can change to 5, we can change to 20, we can change it to whatever we like. And then we can even change this to pi and have a different type of graphic. When we press print to PDF, instead of seeing 10 customers this time in the list, we'll see 5 because that's how many we've entered. They're the 5 customers there. And this is our pie chart there. So very, very simple, but it works, very nice, easy to use, and it's all free. And then also, last one, just wanted to quickly show you account schedules. So it is actually possible in later versions of NAV to assign categories and subcategories to GL accounts. So if I go to the chart of accounts and edit a GL account within the chart of accounts, you'll see the account category and subcategory drop down, and that's a way to structure your chart of accounts if you want to use it. If you do have that set up, you can run account schedule reports, and to do that, you go to GL account categories, and here we can see the categories and subcategories that are set up. If we go to account schedules, and then M income, for example, overview, and print. I'll print it to PDF and open. And there we can see the income statement there. So also included in standard NAV reporting is the ability to use Excel. So there's 2 ways you can use Excel with standard NAV reporting. You can use the pre-configured Excel reports, which are only available in 2018, but they're just on the Role Center. And you can also export to Excel. So you can export a table, i.e. the customer table, the item table, straight into Excel, and then you can filter and manipulate the data from there. Just show you now how that works. So the pre-configured Excel reports available in the Role Center in the later versions of NAV are just here. So we've got this button in the ribbon, and you can just select them from there. If you want to export to Excel, it's very simple as well. And this is really useful if you want to send information to somebody that doesn't have NAV Vision. Think if you want to send someone, you can see data on your screen. They don't have NAV installed. They might be external. Then if you export the data to Excel, you can send them that spreadsheet. So it's the same data and it's all nicely formatted, but they don't need to have NAV Vision installed to see it. So if we edit an item, for example, so we're going to have a look at this bicycle. And if we have a look at the ledger entries to see the movement on this bicycle, we can see here quantities going in and out. So if we wanted to export this data to have a closer look at it, to analyze it, maybe to spot a problem, or maybe just to send it to someone else in the business or someone outside the business, we could click the application menu here and send it to Excel. Open, and that's it. That data that we were just looking at appears in Excel, and it's possible to filter on it and sort and analyze the data further. It could also be done on other tables, such as the customer table. So if we go to the customers, and instead of going to the application menu, you can actually just press Control E. That brings up the window, press open, and there we go, straight in. And then you could filter on it. So let's say we want to look at all the customers with a balance due. What we could do is we could look at this column, and we could say we don't want to show anyone with an empty balance due. We just want to show everyone with a balance due. And then that information could be sent to someone again inside or outside the business. And you can do that for lots of places in NAV. So what we did there was we just exported the table as it was into Excel. So the item ledger entries, we just copied it into Excel. The customer list, we just copied it into Excel. But what you can actually do with OData is you can write configurable queries. And what that will do is you can pull columns into your Excel sheet, but from multiple tables. And to do that, you need a key. So I'll show you how that looks. We've got an example here, refreshable OData. And what we're going to be looking at on this sheet is data from multiple tables. So these columns, this collection of data, doesn't actually exist in one place in NAV. It's been constructed with this query. So we've got a key here. So the sell to customer number and the bill to customer number are the same, which means that we can pull data from both tables. So these columns here are from both tables. And what you can actually do is set up parameters and filter that information. So if we set the customer, for example, to 20,000, go back to our data. This is just a very simple example, but it gives you an idea of the kind of things you can do. And we refresh. We can see that we've filtered the information using the parameters tab. So that's a really, really straightforward example, but it gives you an idea of how powerful OData queries can be and how much you can actually do with them. So back to the PowerPoint. And so that's it really for standard NAV reporting. You've got reports that are already set up within the system, within NAV. You can use Excel to use the pre-configured Excel reports from the role center, or you can export to Excel and manipulate the data from there. And then you've got OData, so you can create configurable queries to pull in the data that you want to Excel. So the benefits specific to NAV reporting is that there's no cost. You can just use this. You can go out and you can use it as it is. And it's simple and it's easy to set up. There's even less setup now than there was in previous versions. So if you want simple reporting that's easy to use, then maybe standard NAV reporting would be enough. But then we've got Jet Reports. So Jet Reports is for more sophisticated reporting and is much more powerful than standard NAV reporting. So Jet is an Excel-based add-in that pulls data directly into Excel from NAV, and then once the data's there, you can use Excel charts. Also with Jet, you get the report player. So the report player is a selection, it's quite a large selection actually, of free, pre-configured and editable reports. So you can have a look through this big book of reports, have a look at a report that's right for you, and then edit it and say, actually, we don't need that part of it, and it'd be nice to have this. And you can change it and configure it to be right for you. So there's lots of features available in Jet. and there's lots of reports available in the report player. But the reports and features you get with Jet depend on the version of Jet you have. So you've got Jet Express, Jet Professional, and Jet Enterprise. On the next slide, I'll show you the differences between each version, but for now, I'll just show you the report player. So when we open the report player, we'll see this big book of reports that we can use. And there's categories. So we've got sales, finance, purchasing, inventory, accounts receivable, accounts payable, production, warehouse. There's loads and loads of reports here, pre-configured. So the first report that I wanted to show you is the monthly income statement, and that is a finance report. So that will be in this section, and that's here. So you can show more, and in fact, let's just do that, just to show you all the reports here that you can get in the finance section. But that report is just here. So if I click that and press open in Excel, we'll see a really, really nice report. What Jet's essentially doing is it's pulling the data from NAV into this nice, neat format. If we go to the README tab, which all of the reports on the report player have, it will tell us that we need to change the account numbers and names to match the account numbers and names in the chart of accounts, which is fair enough because that's how it will build the link. And it also tells us that this can be used with Jet Express or Jet Professional. All of the reports in the report player will tell you what version of Jet you need to be able to use them. Also wanted to show you the quantity on hand by location. So that is actually an inventory report. So to access that, we'll go to the inventory section. I'll just collapse that. Quantity on hand by location. If we open this in Excel, we'll see that this is a slightly more elaborate report. And it has buttons on the top that can be used to filter the information. So here is the report that's pulled into Jet. So we've got the quantity on hand, location, and we've got buttons here that can be used to filter. Again, we've got a README page, and this tells us that this report requires Jet Enterprise. So as you can see, it's a slightly more complicated report. It needs one of the bigger versions of Jet to be able to use this. Also wanted to show you the overview of salesperson performance. So that is in the sales section. And that's here. So this is a really nice Jet report. And the graphics that are in here are built with Excel. So all Jet does is pulls the data from NAV into Excel. And once data is in Excel, then you can manipulate it into these Excel charts. So it's a really nice example actually, because it shows you really the process. So Jet pulls this information into Excel. And then once you've got this in Excel, you can then build charts out of that data, and you can put together a dashboard just like this. Again, we've got a README section, and it tells us that this can be used with Jet Express or Jet Professional, and there's some other information here. But it's just a really nice example of this, is because that's the process. So step one with Jet is to pull your information like this, so you have it all from NAV into a nice table. And then once you've got this, you can then begin to construct bar charts and pie charts and other things out of that data. This is a slightly nicer Jet report, the last one that I wanted to show you. And again, it shows, it's a good example of the process really, because it shows the data, and then it also shows the graph that's been turned into. So on the face of it, okay, yeah, this is a great dashboard, but how's it made? So if we look at the chart one tab, we can see that this here is the data that's been pulled into Excel from NAV using Jet. And then this is the graphic that's been built from this data. Again, chart two, this is the data that's been pulled into NAV from Jet. And then this is the graphic that's been made from it. And again, chart 3, we've got the data from NAV, pulled by Jet, and the Excel graphic again. And then lastly, NAV data pulled by Jet, Excel graphic. But then when you put them all together, you end up with quite an impressive dashboard, and you can filter on that with these buttons. You can adjust the reports available in the report player. So if there's some reports there that you don't think you need or you don't want to see, you can get rid of them. You do have to edit the config file, so it means using XML, but it can be done. But if you don't need them, then they can just be left. So the benefits really specific to Jet, that's what this is really about, is that the pre-configured reports can be edited. So with Power BI, the pre-configured reports can't be edited, but with Jet you can. So it gives you a nice starting block template to go from. So you can start from there and then can tailor them to how you want them to be. Another benefit specific to Jet Report is it's user-friendly and it's easier to set up than other reporting tools. It's relatively straightforward. And lastly, because it works with Excel, people are generally already familiar with Excel. Lots of people use Excel all the time. So a reporting tool that works with that is less daunting for people, and they'll already be quite familiar with it. And I just wanted to quickly show you the differences then between the versions. So you've got Express, Professional, and Enterprise. So Jet Express is actually free, and it is real-time reporting, but it is limited and it is less flexible, and you won't get as many of the report player reports. Jet Professional, though, you can access Jet from any device. You can automate report distribution. So you can say that I want the managing director to be sent this report at 6 o'clock every day. And that's just automated. That will just work then. Also contains some permissions to lock down reports, and there's drill down capability. So the drill down capability is really useful. What that essentially means is if you have a summed value in the Jet reports of, say, £52,000, if you hover over that field, you'll get a little arrow appear. And if you click that arrow, it will take you to where that value is in NAV, and you can see how that value has been summed. What is the calculation to generate that value? And then you can look at that in the vision. And then lastly, Jet Enterprise, obviously you get all the benefits of Excel and Professional, but you also get business dashboards to see trends, predefined cubes, drag and drop customization, advanced security, and you can also push data to Power BI. So if you have Jet Enterprise, you can have Power BI as well and use them both together. So that brings me on nicely to the last part, which is Power BI. So Power BI can be used to create a rich graphical presentation of information with interactive visualizations, dashboards, and drill down functionality. So it's great for big data sets and high level reporting because you can see trends as they happen. And it's really nice if you have a big meeting, a board meeting, to show these visualizations to everyone. They can immediately see everything right at hand. And there's also advanced securities. So users can only create and view reports that they've been given access to. So this might help with things like reducing errors because people are only going to be able to access what they need to access. And reports can be run and emailed periodically and accessible on any device. So most of the benefits of Jet as well, really. So I'll show you how that works. Just going to swap company, because what I want to show you is that Power BI can be accessed from inside the role center. So that is specific to Power BI. Only Power BI can do that, and it does look really nice. I've put it towards the bottom because I didn't want you to see it before we got to this stage, but you probably have it maybe here, top left, so you can see it straight away. But that is an example of a really nice Power BI report available in the role center. No time switching between applications. Everyone's looking at the same data. You don't have to open it up or go and look at it or think to go and look at it or remind people to go and look at it. It's just there in the role center straight away. So we've got the sales by period here. So for this period, we've got £42,000, 42,295, and then for this one, we've got 7,410. So let's click this 42,000. So how is this 42,000 calculated? So these are the customer sales here. So these are the customers that these sales were to. And then we've got the items that these sales were. So we can see that's the 42,000 here. And then this is how it's calculated by customer. And then this is the 42,000, and this is how it's calculated by item. So we can see here our best items and our best customers. And then also when we click that, it's shown us the countries that the sales were in. Really nice to be able to see. And you can see, so if we hover there, so we can see that 38% of the total profit, £11,000, was from this country. And then if we have a look at, say, Denmark, yeah. So if we click this period, so 7,400, we can see the customers that, to see which customers we sold to generate those sales. And we can also see what items were sold. So we can see our best item again, best customers, and we can hover over the country to see which are our most, which countries do we make the most sales in. So it's really nice to be able to see that in a role center, and you can go to the next report and you can have a whole range of Power BI reports, and you can flick between them in the role center. But you can also expand the report, which is what I'm going to do because I want to get it on full screen so we can see it even better. But it's a really nice feature, that is, to be able to see it within the role center like that. So I wanted to show you the sales order book as well. So we can see here the number of outstanding orders to date by month. So for example, now the dates are slightly ahead here. We wanted to have lots of data here so we could show a whole range of transactions. So some of the dates are in the future, so don't worry about that. But yeah, so if we look at January 2019, we can see that there's 32 outstanding orders. And then we can see then that as soon as we click that, all the other data filters. So if we have a look at here, the number of customers with outstanding orders, those 32 outstanding orders are from 15 customers. And the total of those orders is £67,743. Those 15 customers are listed here, and we can see a breakdown of how much is against each customer. And then we can have a look at the country to see what percent is against each country. We could also have a look at September and see we've got 5 outstanding orders. Those 5 outstanding orders are for 3 customers. Those 5 orders are worth £335,000, and then here we've got the split by customer. So this customer is 75,000, this customer is 141,000, and this customer is 119,000. And then we can see what percentage is in what country. Revenue by country is also another good example of what can be achieved with Power BI. And we've got this really nice graphic here that shows it's similar to showing it in the percent by country, but actually on a map. Just looks really nice, especially for meetings. So we are looking at 2018 at the moment. We can see here we've got January, February, March, April, May, June, July. We've got the whole year here, month by month. And with 2018 selected, we're looking at every month, and we can see that all of the sales are in the UK. However, if we click 2019, we can see that this business, even though it's only a demo business, has gone international now, and we can see the sales all over the world. If we was to click America, for example, we can see out of our 70K, £70,016 of sales, how much was in America. So it is rounded on here, but to be exact, it's £1,499 of our £70,000 of sales in January 2019 was in America. And we've actually got 2 charts here, side by side. So on the left here, we can see the sales in blue, and then we've got the total profit here. So of that £1,499 of American sales, we've got £305 of profit. We can then filter again using the Atlas, and let's have a look at the UK. So if we click on the UK, we can see that 11K, or to be exact, £10,524,000 of our 70K of sales is in the UK, and that's £3,248 of profit. And we can go through the country. So if we have a look at Denmark, for example, so there we go. We can see straight away that Denmark is far, far more profitable to us, to our business here, because we've got far more sales than we have in America. And it's just so easy to see that at a glance and really understand the scale. So we can see that actually we're getting £8,909 of profit from Denmark compared to the £305 from America. So maybe we could target Denmark more, or maybe target America more, depending on our business plan. But it's just really easy to see this information in a really nice way. And then the last report I wanted to show you on Power BI is sales this year versus sales last year. So this hypothetical business started in 2017. So we can see that if we look at the top, MTD, that's month to date. So our sales in January is 2,000, 2,400, 1,800, 2,800. And then in yellow is our month to date previous year. So because this is the first year the business started, we don't have the previous years in. But if we look at next year, so 2018, our current year is in purple. So we've got 3,200 compared to last year's 2,000. So you can see January 2018, we were £1,200 more profitable than January 2017. And again, for most of the months. So we can see that this business has been, not every month, but virtually more profitable each month of 2018 than 2017, except for this month. Except July 2017 was more profitable than July 2018. And that's the type of information that we can see at a glance really easily. So benefits specific to Power BI. Power BI can be made visible in the role center, as you can see, improving efficiency. Everyone's looking at the same data, no time switching between applications. So it's a huge, huge benefit, really, to be able to do that. And that's not something that another reporting tool can do. Also is scheduled refresh. So you can set up your scheduled refresh to be daily or even hourly so that everyone's looking at the same data. If you're having lots of transactions being posted, you might say, okay, we want our Power BI data to be refreshed on the hour, every hour. So you could say at 9 a.m., we want it to be refreshed, and then 10 a.m., and then at 11 a.m. And then if everyone's got that Power BI fact box in their role center on the hour, every hour, that will update, pulling through the latest transactions. So everyone's looking at the same data. And we've also got advanced visualization. So it's not dependent on Excel charts, whereas Jet is. So Jet is pulling the information just into Excel, and then you manipulate that data with Excel charts, whereas Power BI has its own advanced visualizations, which are far more superior. So if you do want more information on how to create Jet reports from scratch, how to create Power BI reports from scratch, and we do have a webinar on Jet and another one on Power BI, but hopefully this has given you a really good overview of a comparison between the three. So what do you get with one that you don't get with another? So thank you for listening, and I'll pass you back over to Adam.
Excellent. Thanks for that, James. I hope you'll find that interesting and useful. So if you do have any questions, please take a note of my contact details on the screen now, and I'm more than happy to help you out with anything that you've seen this morning. Keep an eye out for the recording of this webinar on our website. There you can view all our past webinars too. As James mentioned, we've got the Power BI webinar and the Jet Reports webinar up there too. We've got quite an extensive library, so do go and look on our videos page. So yeah, finally, that's it for this series of NAV Know How webinars. We're going to be taking a short break over the summer and rerunning some of the most popular sessions. So keep your eyes open around September time for our next lineup of webinars for the second half of the year. If you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see, do let us know. So again, thank you for being with us this morning. Have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine. Football's coming home, and we'll see you all very soon. Cheers.